Breaking developments out of Los Angeles have fans holding their breath as a superstar's injury update collides with rumors of a major roster shakeup. Tension is high, and every insider report points to a pivotal moment that could define the rest of the season. From uncertainty about recovery timelines to whispers of a new pitcher being lined up as a possible solution, the stakes couldn't be higher. What does this mean for the team's immediate future? How will management respond? And could a bold roster move be the answer to keeping championship hopes alive? Stay tuned, because these updates aren't just routine, they're the kind that can shift the entire direction of a season. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so you never miss the latest Dodgers news. Now, let's get into what is shaping up to be another dramatic stretch in Los Angeles. We're talking about Shohei Ohtani's latest injury update, a possible major roster move that could shake things up, and how the Dodgers are exploring their pitching options as the season heats up. First things first, Shohei Ohtani. Anytime his name comes up alongside the word injury, fans across baseball immediately hold their breath. Ohtani isn't just another star player, he's the face of the franchise, the centerpiece of the Dodgers' long-term vision, and without question one of the biggest names in all of sports. Every little update about his health carries massive weight, not only for the season's playoff push but also for the future direction of the Dodgers. The recent concern was whether Ohtani's body could withstand the grind after already going through surgery and dealing with prior arm issues. The Dodgers' medical staff and Dave Roberts have been extremely cautious, and for good reason. Ohtani has shown flashes of brilliance at the plate, reminding everyone why he was worth every penny of his record-breaking deal. But fans are asking the same question: will he be available consistently when the team needs him most? Reports coming out suggest that Ohtani is feeling better than initially feared, which is huge news. The injury scare, thankfully, doesn't seem to be as severe as it could have been. The Dodgers are making sure he takes it day by day, but insiders are saying the expectation is for him to be back in the lineup without a prolonged absence. Still, that doesn't stop speculation. Could the Dodgers potentially scale back Ohtani's workload in certain situations? Might they even consider resting him strategically during this stretch to keep him healthy for the playoffs? Fans have already noticed Roberts being very careful with lineup cards, and the coaching staff is hyper-focused on long-term preservation rather than short-term overexertion. It's not just about today's games, it's about October baseball. But while Ohtani's health dominates headlines, the Dodgers front office is quietly, or maybe not so quietly, exploring some very real roster moves. This team has World Series expectations, and they know depth is the key to surviving a long season. Insiders around the league are reporting that Los Angeles is preparing for a major roster decision, one that could involve calling up a top prospect or potentially swinging a trade sooner rather than later. With the trade deadline still a bit away, many believe the Dodgers don't want to wait. If they identify a hole, especially in the pitching staff, they'll make a move to patch it. And right now, pitching depth is the elephant in the room. The Dodgers have already had to navigate injuries in the rotation. We've seen glimpses of dominance from guys like Tyler Glasnow, but the consistency hasn't been there across the board. Walker Buehler's return has been highly anticipated, but questions linger about his durability and effectiveness after missing extended time. Bobby Miller showed promise before his injury setback, and fans are hopeful that he can return strong. Then you've got guys like James Paxton and Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who have both shown stretches of good pitching but haven't always been lights-out reliable. That leaves the Dodgers in a position where they need to weigh their options carefully. Do they stick it out with what they have and trust that everyone gets healthy at the right time? Or do they aggressively pursue reinforcements from the outside? One name being floated around as a possible target is Garrett Crochet from the Chicago White Sox, a young arm who has been drawing a ton of attention. The Dodgers, of course, have the farm system and the financial flexibility to make nearly any deal they want. But what's interesting is that the team might not only look for starting pitching, they could very well target bullpen upgrades, too. We all know how critical a reliable bullpen is in October. Games can be won or lost in the late innings, and the Dodgers have had some shaky moments out of the pen this season. Alex Vesia, Evan Phillips, and Blake Trinan have had good outings, but the depth behind them isn't bulletproof. That's why a potential move could involve bolstering that relief core as much as shoring up the rotation. Now, the major roster move incoming could also mean a highly anticipated call-up. Don't forget that the Dodgers farm system is still loaded with talent. One name to keep an eye on is Landon Knack, who has been making noise down in the minors. The front office has been patient with him, but word is spreading that he could be called up to help as soon as this summer. His ability to eat innings and provide some flexibility could be exactly what the Dodgers need. And then there's always the question of how the Dodgers balance all this with their offense. Losing Ohtani, even for a short stretch, reminds everyone how important depth is in the lineup. Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, and Will Smith have all been doing heavy lifting, but the team knows they can't over-rely on just the top of the order. That's where a roster move could even include adding another bat, though pitching seems to be the bigger priority. Fans are buzzing with speculation about whether someone like Max Muncy could be shifted around if his bat doesn't heat up again, or if Gavin Lux's struggles at the plate continue. The Dodgers have options, but they're being very calculated. The Dodgers' depth has always been their biggest weapon, and Roberts will need to lean on that depth like never before. So what's next for the Dodgers? Expect clarity soon. Ohtani's day-to-day updates will continue to dominate headlines, but the bigger story could be what the front office does to support him and the rest of the roster. A trade, a call-up, or even a surprising roster shuffle could happen sooner than most expect. This is the Dodgers, after all, one of the most aggressive organizations in the league when it comes to making bold moves. If there's a chance to improve, they'll take it. And given the way the season is unfolding, all signs point to something big brewing. At the end of the day, Dodgers fans just want to see this team healthy and firing on all cylinders by the time October rolls around. Shohei Ohtani's health is step 1. The next roster move could be step 2. And then, of course, finding the right mix of pitching and offense will be the final piece of the puzzle. It's a long season, and we're only in the middle of it. But the Dodgers are already showing that they're thinking ahead, preparing for the moments that matter most. That's what makes this franchise so dangerous. They're never satisfied, always pushing for more. So, Dodgers fans, buckle up. The coming weeks could define not just the rest of this season, but the trajectory of the team's championship hopes. Keep an eye on those injury updates, watch closely for that major roster move, and get ready for some fireworks because Los Angeles is about to make some noise. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Don't forget to hit like if you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe for more daily Dodgers coverage, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. Do you think the Dodgers should make a big trade for pitching, or should they trust the guys they already have? And how worried are you about Ohtani's health long term? Let's get the conversation going in the comments. Until next time, this has been your Dodgers Update, and we'll see you in the next video.